What's going on, everybody? It looks like we are live on YouTube as well as a ton of other platforms. Welcome back to another episode of 30 Minutes with a Millionaire, the #1 place to tune into to get your questions answered live. That way, hopefully, it can increase your income, your impact, and your influence. If you're watching the replay and you're tuning in after this video was recorded, fast forward maybe a minute or two to when the questions start to roll in. If this is your first time watching and you are live, I want to say welcome to the channel and welcome to the show. The way this works is there are no rules. There is nothing that's premeditated. So it's all about you and how we can add as much value to you and your life and help you and your business as much as humanly possible. So remember, there are no dumb questions. In fact, the only dumb question is one that is not asked. I talk about this all the time. I sound like a broken record. However, questions and question asking is one of the most important skill set that you can develop in your life, because questions that get answered give you answers, and answers are the missing components to your life, right? Look at it like this. If your life is a puzzle and you becoming successful is a puzzle and you need the pieces to complete the puzzle, you need to find the pieces. So the way that you find those pieces are by finding out exactly where you are, where you need to go, where you want to be, where you need to be, and what are those specific, detailed, very specific questions that are in between. That way you can get to the next level. So down below in the chat, if you guys can hear me, you guys can see me, go ahead and drop a yes. Also, if you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, or maybe you've been here before and you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Also click the notification bell because it helps out the channel immensely and it would mean a lot to me. So go ahead down below and drop your questions, and we can go from there. Once you guys drop them, we can break them down and answer them. We can do some problem solving, work through your business, help you guys get some clarity, and hopefully help you guys get to the next level. Also, while you guys are doing that, just a friendly reminder, guys, some tools, some resources that are going to help you get to the next level. If you're interested about starting your Amazon business or taking your business to the next level, guys, every week, in Mondays and Wednesdays, we drop brand new videos, right? So we have a series called the 7-Figure Product Series, where we're breaking down products like this that are doing over $1 million per year. I'm opening these boxes, showing you the packaging, showing you the structure of the product, showing you how you can increase the quality of the product. We're reviewing the product packaging, how we found the product, how to determine what the product's making, pretty much the whole 9 yards. And we do that for free, and that's every single week, in addition to another value video. So you guys want to make sure that you have those notification bells on when you sub so you do not miss those. Mr. Make It Happen says, what else can I do to get my AMZ business up and running the fastest? There's a few different ways. So in regards to, depending on where you are in the business, if you don't have the product selected, then you really want to just hone in on being very specific with your product research and your product development. However, if you are already done with the product research and product development stage, then what you can do to get things up and running and be efficient is while they're manufacturing and making your product, right? What you can do is start working on the optimization of your listing. You can make sure that you have your keyword research done and all of that stuff. That way your listing is up and running. That way, by the time your product becomes available and it's shipped into Amazon, you're ready to rock and roll. Great question. Awesome. So again, guys, go ahead and drop your questions down below so we can get them answered. Any questions that you guys have, we can help you guys get to the next level.
Got a question on Instagram. Negotiation tactics with brands to get you a lower cost.
Yeah, negotiation tactics. The question was, what are some negotiation tactics with brands to get your costs lower? So there's a few things that you want to look at depending on the product and depending on the niche or the industry or the category. You want to ask yourself, like, and this is very important. Actually, can you share this? We'll go ahead and draw this out really quick. These are a few things that you want to look at. This is your product, right? Let me know when you're ready. Yep, we're good. All right, go ahead and share it. All right, cool. So the goal is to reduce the cost of the product, right? So how do you reduce the cost of a product? Okay. Now, this is the most important thing. Number one, you want to make sure that you are able to negotiate the product. But when you're negotiating the product, do not negotiate components of the product that are going to lower the quality, right? So never lower the quality. Number one. So here's a perfect example. If I'm developing, let's just say I'm developing this product. By the way, I reviewed this product. This product is an 8-figure product, 8-figure company that started primarily in one of their sales channels was Amazon. So you definitely want to check this out in 7-figure products. However, let's say I'm developing this product. If my goal is to get this product down below X amount, right? If I want to reduce the cost and get the price down, right? How do I do so? First, you have what is going to be your material, right? Number one, you have material. Number two, you have, and also if you guys are on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever we're live on right now, and you want to see what's going on while I draw this out and map this out, go to YouTube right now. Make sure you click on the live so you can see everything in the studio setting. It's epic. Anyway, number one, you have material. Number two, you have quantity. And number three, you have what I like to call non-sacrificial, and I'll put SAC for short because I can't fit it, negotiating, right? Or negotiations. So what is non-sacrificial negotiation? So we'll go through these, right? Number one, material. Material is what I do not want to do, right? I don't want less quality material. I don't want cheaper material. I don't want to replace this. I don't want to reduce this. This is the product. I've come up with the product development. This is how I want the product. I've looked at the competitors. I found things they're not doing that I can do, ways that I can differentiate and make this product better. So I don't want to sacrifice any material. So number one, you do not want to sacrifice material. Number two is quantity. Number two is a good one, right? So this is a good way to reduce the cost of your product. However, it doesn't always make sense when you're starting out. If you're starting out and you want to micro launch 500 units, right? Let's say the MOQ is 300 units. Now, MOQ stands for minimum order quantity. You need to know this lingo because when you're reaching out to the supplier, they're going to say, well, our MOQ is blank. And you're going to be like, well, what's that? Then they're going to try to stroke you when you say that. So MOQ is minimum order quantity. Let's say that your order quantity is 500 that you want to micro launch. You've looked at the data. You need enough not to run out within a month, and you feel that it's 500, okay? Now, if the difference is 200, right? The difference is 200. So you could ask them and say, hey, I know your MOQ is 300. If I order 500, could you come down on the pricing because I'm increasing my order volume? And they're going to say, well, no, but if you do 600, you do 100 more, maybe I could drop it X per unit. So one of the ways is quantity, and it may or it may not make sense. Here's the thing. If you're starting out and you're micro launching a product, I would much rather you pay a little bit more and not order more quantity than to order more quantity and be stuck trying to sell that extra quantity because you wanted to save a few nickels, right? Or a few dimes, right? So that's kind of my methodology. That's my personal opinion and my recommendation, right? On your reorder, and maybe it doesn't work. Sometimes this works, sometimes this doesn't work. On your reorder, you may have sold that 500 in a month, and you're like, okay, when I really throw influencer marketing on this and I ramp up PPC, I'm going to sell 700 units a month. I want to order 3 months worth of inventory. That's 2,100 units. I'm going to order 2,500 units. Now, if you go to order 2,500 units and you got a price break at 600, now you may get another tier. So that's the way MOQ or quantity works, right? So you're going to have different quantity breaks depending on how many products that you order. And these are the times that you can kind of break into reducing these, right? So going down here, you have phase number one is the test order. Phase number two is the reorder. And number three is growth, right? So try to do it in phase number one, like I broke down. Try to do it in phase number two on the reorder, and try to do it on phase number three. Now, again, guys, these are all tied to quantity. Never negotiate with your supplier to lower the cost of your product by changing, reducing, minimalizing any type of material, right? You do not want to do that. Think about WWAD. WWAD. Now, what does WWAD stand for? What would Apple do? Think about that. Constantly think about that. It's better to charge more and have a premium product than to charge less and try to compete with other people and have trash, right? Next, so quantity works. Non-sacrificial negotiation. Now, non-sacrificial negotiation is another one that works that's very well. Now, a lot of people, when I say don't like negotiate based off of material, a lot of people just don't negotiate. And they're like, oh, well, if I order X amount, can you shave the price down? They're like, no, you got to order X. I'm like, okay, cool, let's start. You can still negotiate. All I'm saying, and I want to be very clear, is when you negotiate and you ask for a lower price, like make sure you are very clear and you're communicating very clearly and specifically to the supplier that this agreement that we have on this price is not going to affect the quality of the material that is used for my product. Learn from my mistakes. Guys, there's two ways that you can learn in life. You can learn through trial, effort, and error on your own, or you can learn from trial, effort, and error of someone else. That's why like mentorship and guidance is essential, because I've done this and I've lost thousands of dollars. Perfect example. One of my first products was a USB car charger. I was focused on driving the cost down so I could drive profits up, right? Because if the cost goes down, the profits go up, right? That makes sense. However, if the quality... Oh no, did my pen die? Oh no. I think it's dying on me. However, if the quality goes down, right, then the money will also go down. Why? Because this is a long-term thing. If you have bad quality products, you're going to get bad reviews. Bad reviews mean less purchases, right, on the front end from new people. It also means less repeat business, so on and so forth. So you want to focus on quality. You don't want to focus on the actual, like I said, sacrificing the quality for the product. So non-sacrificial negotiation is just saying, okay, cool. I want to order 300 units. I want to order 500 units. Is there a price break? What is the MOQ 300? Okay, cool. I want to order 500. Can you come down on the price? No, unfortunately, you have to order 1,500 units until you reach tier 1 price break. Cool. We're not going to do that now. Hopefully things go well and I do that on the reorder. Now they may say, well, you could do this, this, and this to lower the price. Do you want to do that? And I'm like, no, I do not want to remove this. I don't want to change this. And I don't want to replace this. I want it exactly how I gave you and instructed you on the product development side of things, right? Once you pass that, then you can go into non-sacrificial negotiations. Like, are you sure this is the best you can do? I'm looking at a few other manufacturers. I really like you. You're really active. I've done my due diligence. You've been in business for a long time, so on and so forth. Is there anything you can do on shipping? Is there anything you can do on the front end? Maybe throw in some flyers, help me with packaging, anything? That question, is that the best that you can do? You may want to write that down. Is this the best that you can do? And then number 2, is there anything else that you can do? Those 2 questions have made me and saved me a stupendous amount of money. It's literally a small fortune. So, and I'll write those down so you can screenshot this, right? And hopefully you're taking notes and you can write this down. Note takers are money makers. Is that the best you can do? Okay. Is there anything else that you can do? These 2 right here have made me a stupendous amount of money and have saved me a stupendous amount of money. Why? Because there's only 2 answers. There's yes or there's no. That's it. They're going to say yes or they're going to say no. They're going to say yes or they're going to say no. So make sure that you're implementing all of these strategies. Go through, don't sacrifice material, focus on quantity, focus on non-sacrificial negotiation, use these tactics, and then at the very end, use these 2 questions. Is that the best that you can do? And is there anything else that you can do? I've gotten free packaging, free package stuffers, bonus products. Like, hey, when I develop these products, actually, for every 100, there's an additional dozen that we usually charge clients for. On this first run, we're willing to give that to you for free to help compensate. That way we can build trust. You never know until you ask. Closed mouths don't get fed. So really good question. Hopefully this makes sense. And down below, we'll have these notes downloaded in a PDF. That way you guys can download them. They will be down below this video. So if you're watching this late or you're watching this and you're like, yo, I couldn't screenshot this, it'll be down below the video. However, in order to do that, we need to see a ton of likes. So I can't see the like ratio, but how many likes do we have? All right, cool. So we're at like half the ratio for likes. So guys, right now, just go like this video right now. And if you do that, I'll add all of my notes down below after this video within the next 24 hours so you can download it. Cool? Awesome. Hey, brother, how can I speed up my search for manufacturers and what softwares do you use for optimal organization of your data? Thanks. Cool. So how can you speed up search for manufacturers? So here's the most important thing, right? Let's go ahead and share my computer, brother. Let's go head over to Alibaba and let's walk through this together. I never stopped screen recording, bro. You're going to have like 58 minutes of screen recording that you're going to have to go through for that video. Don't let me forget to give it to you. All right, cool. So let's go to Alibaba.com. Guys, this is uncensored. So I'm working, talking to my team. You guys are getting uncut, raw behind the scenes footage at my studio. So we go to Alibaba. Alibaba is where we go to find suppliers, right? So how can we speed up the search process for manufacturers? These are, man, it took me so long to learn this stuff. Let's go ahead and go to the whiteboard, right? Can you share both of these simultaneously or is it one-on-one? Let's show my computer screen and my whiteboard. Oh, we can't? All right, cool. So we'll do computer screen and I'll write this stuff down and I'll just give them the notes. That'll work so they can see. That's cool. Just disconnect the whiteboard and do the computer screen. This into this? Or what do I got to do? Yeah, we need to have both these set up. And I'm going through this so you guys can see this live. All right, cool. So we're live. So we go to Alibaba. Alibaba is where we go to find suppliers, right? So let's say we were looking at that yoga mat, right? Yoga mat. This is what I use for all the examples. If I can type today, Josh. So we go to yoga mat. Now, when you go to yoga mat and you type in the search results, if we scroll down to the bottom, all the way to the bottom, you can see that there are literally hundreds and hundreds of suppliers, right? There's hundreds and hundreds of suppliers. So it looks like there's over 7 pages of suppliers for yoga mats. Now, this is the biggest mistake that people make, right? When they're doing this research and they're looking for these products, they're looking for these manufacturers, the biggest mistake that they make, and these are a few mistakes that they make. Number one, and you guys may want to write this down. Number one, they look for the picture that's close to the picture on what Amazon is. That does not mean that they're going to be the best manufacturer to manufacture your product. Chances are these pictures are not even their products themselves, right? So rule number one, do not research manufacturers based off of pictures. Rule number two, do not research manufacturers based off of price. Rule number three, contact all manufacturers, right? If you guys got it down below, say I got it. Now that you guys have that, well, Josh, I don't want to email 300 people, right? I don't want to go through 7 pages and email 300 people. Stupid Josh, starting out, idiot Josh with no mentorship or guidance Josh that figured this out on himself and, I don't know, wasted hundreds of hours and tens of thousands of dollars, used to email every single supplier. What I'm going to share with you guys is going to save you guys an immense amount of time. What you're going to do is you're going to create a template. You're going to go and create a template. If you don't know how to do this, you can go for Fiverr and Fiverr.com and pay $5 to do this. You're going to put a company logo up at the top. You're going to make it look really nice. It's going to be very generic letter talking about your request for this product. Hey, I'm looking for this product, blah, blah, blah. Be very specific. This is the size. This is the quantity I'm looking for. These are the adjustments I want to make, blah, 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 blah. When you're reaching out to suppliers, you want to be chronological order, 1 sentence at a time. Don't communicate to them in paragraphs. Try to talk like you're talking to a kindergartner or something, because understand there's a time difference, a language barrier difference as well. So be as specific and easy to understand as humanly possible. Once you have that template, you're then going to copy, paste, and you're going to send it to all of these suppliers. So if there's 300 suppliers, you can average about 3 of these per minute, right? So if you do 300 divided by, like, if you could do 3 per minute, right? 300, 3 times 60, it's 180. So like you could do this in less than an hour effectively, right? Every minute you're doing 3. Every minute you're doing 3. So 10 minutes is 30. 20 minutes is 60. So what, 120 in an hour? If you could probably do more than that, but just to give you guys like simple math, if you do 3 a minute, it's going to take you 2 hours. It used to take me days. Also, you can have a VA do this. You can go on onlinejobs.ph or Upwork, hire a VA, pay them $2 to $3 per hour. Say, hey, all I need you to do is just send these emails, and I'm going to hire you part-time, and you can have them do it, right? The reason why you want to do this is because some of them are not going to respond. Some of them are going to need to be followed up with. Some of them are going to quote you high. Some of them are going to be trading companies, and some of them are not going to have good quality products. Once you go through these, start communicating with them. And what are the characteristics of a good supplier? Number 1, how long have they been in business? Number 2, what is their rating? Number 3, how is their communication about the product? Number 4, what is their pricing structure? Notice I said pricing structure last because that's not the most important thing. I'd rather have a high communicator with higher expectations who's very active and like involved in my business and pay 15 cents more per product than someone who's the cheapest, but they're just flipping this for a profit and they're not really want to help me out or be involved. I've built relationships with my suppliers and manufacturers that have helped me out substantially in my business, right? All right, cool. So basically, once you do that, you're just going back and forth. You just got to go back and forth. So there's no quick way to like expedite it. This whole process, if I wanted to launch this product, there's 300 listings. Let's just say one day, if you outsource this to Fiverr or you do it yourself to build the template, let's say one day to reach out to everybody, and let's say 3 to 5 days to sort through all of them, negotiate prices, and see who I like. When you choose 3 suppliers, this is like 5 to 7 days. You choose 3 suppliers, have them all airship you samples so you can physically see the product. Now, if your product is like, if your product is like a product that can't be broken or a product that you don't think you need to physically see, then don't get the inspection or don't get the actual sample. However, I personally like samples. You can also get an inspection report done on the facility. Now, there's 2 different types of inspections. There's pre-manufacturing inspections and there's post-manufacturing inspections. Pre-manufacturing inspections are to go look at the facility, go look at the place, go look at samples that they have, and they'll give you a report. That's anywhere between $300 to $500. And the post-inspection is what I do a majority of the times. Is the way it works is usually you put 30 to 50% down prior to manufacturing. Usually it's 50%. And then you don't pay the balance until they're done. Well, if you get that post-inspection and you negotiate that, that means it has to pass the inspection and meet your guidelines and criteria before you release the other 50% of the funds, right? Does that make sense? I know I'm throwing a ton of value at you guys. Maybe for some of you guys, it may seem overwhelming, but my goal, like we have a short, limited time together. My goal is to give you guys as much value as possible. So if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down below in the comments, say I'm getting it. Awesome. We can stop the share on that. I need a computer charger as well. Cool. Go ahead and highlight that next question, brother. What's the best strategy to find products with high demand? Sweet. Dang it. I probably should have showed my computer for this. Bro, we need to have all this set up. Cool. Let me break this down really quick. All right, cool. So the easiest way to do this and the quickest way to do this, how to find products with high demand. So the quickest and easiest way to do this, matter of fact, let me go back over here and show you guys my computer. And let's see if we can share this. Give me a second, guys. Next time we'll have all this stuff set up. All right, give me a second before you share the screen so they don't see all my products. I know you guys want to see them, but it ain't happening. All right. Oh, man. Friday. All right, cool. So, all right, cool. Share it. Let's go. You guys ready? If you guys are ready to dive into Jungle Scout and learn how to find products in literally minutes and how to find products that have high demand and how to make product research a whole lot easier, I need to see the likes go up and I need to see the comments go crazy down below. Guys, energy goes where energy flows. Trust me, I just got a new kitchen installed outside by my pool. I would much rather be cooking some steaks and playing Call of Duty, but I'm here with you guys because I want you guys to crush it. So, yeah, let's have a good Friday evening together, right? So, go ahead and share the screen. Yeah, it's plugged in. Is it showing?
Yeah, you're good.
I can't see it on my screen. All right, cool. All right, so we're in Jungle Scout. Now, by the way, guys, if you don't have Jungle Scout, there will be a link down below. And also, E, if you can pull the link up on the screen, you can go to discountonjunglescout.com and you can get 30% off of this software. I don't care if you get it or not, but if you want to find a product or find your next product, you need it, right? There's really not a way to do it without it. So this is the biggest mistake. This is where everybody gets stuck. I want you to understand the biggest component of this business is finding the product. You can have a crappy product and really good marketing and like it's not going to sell. And you can have a really good product with crappy marketing and it's going to sell, right? The product is the most important thing. The product is what's going to determine how much money you make. The product is going to determine how much money you make. And the product is going to determine if the business is a winner, if the product is a winner, so on and so forth. So how do we do it? First and foremost, there's tons of different tools. In the AMZ formula, like, oh God, what would you say, 4 or 5 hours of product research? The biggest module in the AMZ formula is product research. There's 4 to 5 hours, probably at least a dozen videos. There's tons of different strategies. Long story short, there's no cookie cutter way to do product research, right? And that's what makes it a little difficult. Now, I wouldn't even say difficult because I want you to understand supply and demand. Guys, there are literally 2 million sellers and there are 250 million Prime members. There are more people trying to consume and buy on Amazon and be a customer than there are people trying to sell. Now, on Amazon's marketplace, there's over 2 billion products. How do we find these products? We're going to break this down into several components. So here we have categories. To the right, we have filters. So these are some categories that I recommend, right? So we'll go ahead and run through these really quick, and I'll do this live with you guys. Patio, boom. Oh, these rock. All right, cool. So these are some ones. Now, guys, full disclaimer, just because I didn't click it doesn't mean that you're not going to find a product there. These are the ones that I like personally and some of the ones that we have the best results with, right? Once you select these categories, then you adjust these filters. Now, what is high demand? High demand, I hate the word high demand because high demand to you may be more than high demand to me and vice versa. For instance, you may want a product that's going to make you $3,000 profit per month. If so, high demand for you would be a product that sells 10 units per day, 300 per month at $10 profit, that's $3,000. High demand for me may be a product that sells 300 units per day. Now, well, Josh, I want to find the product that sells 300 units per day. 300 units per day times 30 is significantly more units that you have to spend money to acquire and produce than 300. You see what I'm saying? 3,000 units a month versus 300 units a month is totally different. So you got to understand your budget, number one. Number two, the main things I'm looking for is minimum sales. And like I said, if I'm looking for a product that's selling 300 units per day, I'm putting 3,000 here. If I'm looking for a product that's selling 300 units per month at 10 units per day, I'm putting 300. So it's not about high demand. It's about how much money do you have to invest? How much access to capital do you have to invest? And what is your projected, like, what would you be happy with making? Some people it's 3,000, some people it's 1,500, some people it's 1,000, some people it's 10,000, whatever it is, figure that out, plug these numbers in. So start with how much you want the product to sell per month. Minimum price is important. We want the minimum price to be $20. You can play around with this. Don't go below 15 though. If you go below 15, it's gonna be hard to meet that 30% profit margin. Anything below 15 is not Prime eligible, so you do not want that. And then minimum reviews is the other one, and I'm going to go 1,000. Anything over 1,000, it's been around for a while. There's a lot of giants in there. Not saying it can't be done. Definitely can be done. All products on Amazon sell and can be sold. The two questions are, is it within your budget? Is it within your level of marketing and your risk factor, right? That's the only variables. All products on Amazon sell. I'm sick and tired of saying people like, this product's not selling. Okay, dude, like what? I guarantee you didn't exhaust your marketing. I guarantee you didn't exhaust your review. I guarantee you didn't exhaust product development. I guarantee there are variables left on the table as to why your product is not selling. And if it's not selling, it's probably not selling as much as you wanted it to because you didn't know how to find the right product, verify it, and then validate it. So when I'm looking at products and I'm doing product research, there's two steps. There's validation and verification. Validation is what we're doing preliminarily, the preliminary work where we're looking at stuff and we're doing data-driven decision-making. Now, the validation is when stuff gets real, right? We actually put money into the product, we send the product to Amazon, and we test it, right? So these are the main things that we're going to do, and then we're going to hit search. Now, if you're like me and you have entrepreneurial ADD, this is where everybody messes up. Dude, I have coached hundreds of thousands of people, and I have over 10,000 people in our community. I know this for a fact. The majority of people have entrepreneurial ADD. The problem is, like, all of these categories rock. I would rather you consistently do product research for 1 hour per day and start in a category at a time and knock out all of the search criteria every single day or every single several days than just be going haywire with all of these categories and all of these filters and not going anywhere. One of the biggest issues is the organization. So what I do is I literally just screenshot my search records, right? So for Mac, it's Shift-Command-4, and I can screenshot this. And here you can see in the bottom right-hand corner right here, I have a picture of this, right? Now, this picture will go into a folder, and it'll be called February 11th, 2022. And now I know what my search criteria is. Because if you're not doing this, you're not documenting your search criteria, and then you're like flying through all these different filters and playing around and moving stuff because there's so many different variables. 2 days from now, you may not know what the heck you were searching, and you're going to get redundant searches, which means you're looking at the same crap, right? So that's a huge issue. What I like to do, and I just did this for my inner circle. I shouldn't be doing this. This is way too much value. Nobody on YouTube does this. So if you guys are watching this, like, it would be greatly appreciated if you guys subscribe and support the channel because you're not going to get this stuff on YouTube. Anyway, click. Yeah, we need 10 more likes, my guy said, to match the view count. So let's make it happen. I like to go one category at a time. Now, if you go one category at a time and we go ahead and process these this data, what you're going to see, this is significantly less search criteria to go through with one category, right? So Jungle Scout's taking its sweet time. Here you can see that there's 2,252 products. So based off of this search criteria, there's 2,252 units. Now, if I just go click 3 more, we had way more than 3 other categories, but if I just go click 3 more, that's 2 and 1 more. Watch how this goes from 2,252 to like probably 10,000. Take your sweet time populating. I was way off, dude. 25,000. All right, so this is what people do. And dude, like they follow my course to a T, like a cookie cutter. They follow my videos to a T. Guys, there is no cookie cutter, do all of this just like this product research. Take the education I'm giving you. If you're in my course, take the strategies I'm giving you and apply it to meet your search criteria and your budget and your like study type or your personality. Me, dude, I have massive ADD. Like I'm playing Call of Duty. I'm on the phone. I'm on Instagram. I am not going to be product researching for 3 hours. It is not happening. I have a solid 60 minutes with my phone in a drawer, no distractions. Boom, I'm going to hit it. No one, dude, there's no way you're going to come do this for 2 or 3 hours and go through 25,000 products and then find a product and then click on it and then analyze it and then come back and remember where you're at. So you're just all over the place. And you're like, dude, I've been doing product research for 3 months. I haven't found a product. Cool. How many pages have you completed? How many categories have you completed? Guys, I want you to understand that it is inevitable for you to find a product. There are significantly less sellers than there are buyers, and there are a stupendous amount of products, like exponentially higher amount of products than there are sellers selling products, right? There's 2 billion products, 2 million sellers. Like we're not even in the same number category, right? It's ridiculous the amount of potential that still exists. The problem is they don't have the dedication, right? The 3 pillars of success I teach on is patience, persistence, and resilience. If you're patient, if you're persistent and you're resilient, it's inevitable for you to find a product. Most people aren't. They're not disciplined, right? And that's why I focus on the competence, guys, because competence breeds confidence. Once you thoroughly understand this and you believe it, then you're going to have the confidence like, yo, this makes sense, dude. These products exist. I'm on here all the time. Amazon's ginormous. I know what I was doing wrong. I know what I need to do right. I'm going to do it until I find it. I'm not going to give up. That's how this thing works, called success, right? So we go back to that one, right? Let me just go back to baby. It's going to take it from 25,000 back to like 2,500. Let's put the link up for Jungle Scout so they can go ahead and take action on getting Jungle Scout while I'm doing this, because you guys need this software, right? So it's going to populate. It's going to go back to 2,200, right? 2,252. This is what I do. Like in reference to organizing this, I'm going page 1 through 46. So I like to organize this through 100 because what's going to happen is the page count is going to drop. It's going to be divided by 2 because you're doubling the amount of products per page. So it's going to go from 2,200. It's going to go from the page amount of 46 to the page amount of 23, right? So now I only have 23 pages I got to get through. So this is my assignment for today. Today I'm doing 1 hour of product research or 2 hours of product research, whatever it is. My assignment is to complete this page. So what am I documenting? Friday, February 11th, 5 p.m., I started product research. These are my filters. Category, baby, filters, $20 minimum price point, filters, amount of sales per month, 300, filters, minimum amount of reviews, 1,000. Those are the filters. How many pages? Blank. If you don't finish this, what page did you leave off on? 25? Cool. If you left off on page 25, tomorrow, which is Saturday, February 12th, at the time of recording this, you start on page 26. You start on the page that you left off, you finish it. At the end of that day, you document the process. Okay, I have officially done baby. Baby category is done. Dude, there's only so many categories. Baby category is done, and I've reached all the criteria that I like. Now, you may want to change the criteria a little bit. Again, understand the criteria. If you don't, hover over it, and it tells you exactly what it is. In the AMZ formula, I tell you step by step, you looking over my shoulder while I teach you what to do, how to do it. I show you my products. I show you my computer. I give you everything. And like, if you can't afford the AMZ formula or AMZ Formula MAX or Inner Circle or anything I offer, there's enough free stuff on here to where you can dig around and find it and apply it. The problem is oftentimes if you don't pay attention. And people become addicted to education and allergic to execution. So like I'm teaching you right now, it's free, so you probably won't value it. But if you do value it, make sure you take action on it because information changes situations only through implementation. So that is my structure. Here you see this download the CSV. If you're into Excel files, if you know how to run Excel files, like I suck at Excel. If you know how to run Excel, if you know how to use these type of tools, download the CSV report. It's going to populate immediately. And then you're going to be able to run up all this data, and then you can populate it, organize it, move it around. You can also hire a VA for like under $5 an hour to do all of this for you. You don't have to be a millionaire to hire a VA, right? Like you don't have to be making $10,000 a month to hire a VA, and you don't have to hire a VA full time. There are VAs that just want some extra work and they rock at specific skill sets. So be transparent. Hey, I'm looking for an Excel professional to take all these Excel files, put them in here, categorize them like this, and show me this data. And it's part-time. It's not full-time. Cool. Like Susie Lee is going to get back to you and say, okay, it's $2 an hour, $3 an hour, and it should take me, 4 or 5 days. Boom, you're done. Invest in yourself, guys. The biggest thing that the biggest lesson I learned in life to scaling and generating over multiple 8 figures is mastering the art of delegation. Like when you're starting out, you want to do everything and you try to do everything and you are stunting your growth. I structured this framework. It's called the ASAP framework, A.S.A.A.P, right? ASAP, like ASAP Rocky. It's autonomous, sustainable, action, perpetuity. Autonomous. What's something that can run autonomously, automatically? Well, if you have people doing stuff for you, it's running while you're not running them, right? Number 2, sustainable. What's something that you can sustain? So if VA can work for you while you're not working for yourself, it's sustainable because you can continue to pay them. The 3rd letter, A, action. What is action? If you don't do it, you're not going to get the results. And if you focus on like, dude, I don't know how to do it, you're not going to get any results. So take action. ASA. P, perpetuity. Perpetuity is for life. How can I set this up, this machine, to work for life? Take care of your employees. They're not going to go anywhere, right? Take care of your systems. Build your systems out. they're not going to go anywhere. So that's a framework. You guys can have that for free. And this is how I do it. If you can't run Excel sheets, document it on paper, put it in a folder, screenshot it, create folders on your computer. Just find a way to be specific and document your search criteria. Great question. Guys, down below in the comments, let me know, is it okay if we over-deliver today? Is that like, this is course quality, mentorship type stuff. This is free. People aren't subscribing to the channel. They're not liking the videos. Yeah, let's just talk about Lambos and Call of Duty, matter of fact. We're done teaching tonight, man. I don't know. You guys, I need to see the chat go crazy, man. You guys know the fluff that's on the internet. It's not this. It's not studio quality, 4K, HD, course content from someone that's made $11 million doing this stuff. I know the guys that put the content out there. It's just not. Can we talk crap on here? It's live, right? We can talk crap on here. Guys, is it cool if we have fun while we do this? It's Friday. It's Friday, right? All right, all jokes aside, let's go to the next question. Oh, this thing's nothing. You can get one. I've got a video, by the way. Like, I hate talking about cars because I'm not a car guy, and I hate the fact that like people think you're successful because of these cars. However, I have a video on here talking about how much it costs to get one of these, how much I had to put down, how much the insurance is, how much the gas is, how much it costs, so on and so forth. So if you like cars and you want to learn all those things, because nobody told me that stuff, I had to figure it out the hard way. That's on the channel for sure. How have you dealt with rising freight costs, and are you still able to find profitable products in spite of the freight costs? Yeah, so very simple. When costs associated with the business go up, the cost of the business goes up, right? So it's just a cost of doing business. Why? For this is perfect example. Why do cars go up in price every single year? Why do Apple products go up in price every single year? Why is Prime going up this year? Why has Netflix gone up 3 times in the last decade? It's the cost of doing business. There's expenses associated with growth. There's expenses associated with economics. Whenever you are handed a bill, you hand it to the consumer. Very simple answer. There's always going to be things that get in your way. There's always going to be taxations. There's always going to be tariffs. There's always going to be freight complications. There's always going to be political issues going on, economical issues going on. There's always going to be all of this stuff going on. And if you focus on that, you're not going to be able to focus on the opportunity. So all the big dogs, all the big companies, Fortune 500 companies, these large successful companies, they are passing the bill to you and you're gladly paying it. The iPhone today was not what the iPhone was 5 years ago. Prime today was not what it was in 1999, right? Cable wasn't what it was 5 years ago. Netflix wasn't what it was 3 years ago. So cost is going to continuously go up. And that's why it's important that you focus on quality and you also focus on profit margin when you're doing this business, right? The 2 biggest mistakes that you can make in this business is trying to compete with other companies with quantity or with price. Quantity or price, 2 no-nos. Don't give more for less, and don't try to compete by offering your product for less. You're not going to make it. It is not sustainable. You're going to be in a red ocean. You're going to be crushed. It's not sustainable. Apple charges more than all of their competitors and they make more money. Apple's $1 trillion company. Acer is not. Acer is $200. Mac is $2,000. It's 10x difference. Apple's $1 trillion company. Think about it. Great questions, guys. Great questions. Would you ever offer any AMZ Formula MAX scholarships? I used to do all types of stuff, but I really don't discount or give any of the information away because like I have data to prove it. No one does anything with it, right? Like this is full transparency, full honesty. You guys probably won't believe it. I don't care. My top successful students are the ones that were like had to work a second job, right? Like I've got mentees that were Ubering, making, you know, a couple $100s a week to now making thousands of dollars a week. They had to go Uber those extra hours. They had to go Uber at midnight. They had to work 7 days a week to come up with the money to pay me money they didn't have so that they would value their time, right? Like Joseph surpassed $1 million in sales. He had to go get a second job. He had to hustle. He had to tap into credit cards. I feel that when you have skin in the game, like when you're all in, there is no other option. I feel like when people get things on a discount or people like do things because it's cheap, I feel like they try to make things work or they'll gamble on it. And be honest with you guys, and you don't have to say it down below in the comments. How many of you guys have bought a course or a program or anything because it was cheap and you would try it, right? It's only $4.97. It's only $9.97. It's only $39.97. It's only a $19 book, right? You liked the idea of learning the business, starting the business, a course on the business, and you like the fact that it was cheap because if you didn't do anything with it, it wasn't going to hurt you, right? You go buy a $5,000 course, you go invest $15,000 in mentorship, you invest $30,000 into a business, you invest some serious money, it has to work or it has to work. Like when I started this business, I was making minimum wage, living in a one-bedroom apartment. All of my money went to my business. There was no money going to food. There was no money going to rent. That's why I went and volunteered at the Center Township so I could get rent vouchers because I couldn't pay my rent. That's why I went and rung the bell for Salvation Army for free food from the pantry and for gifts for my kids for Christmas because I had no money for food or gifts. Why? All my money went to my business. Why am I successful? Not because I'm smarter than you, not because my family was better than you, not because my GPA or my DNA or any of that was better than you. I went all in and I had no option but to succeed. There was no option. I was just talking to my wife about this and like somebody who's like one of my close friends, someone that works with us today about this, like you have to have consequences tied to your actions. If you're going to invest in yourself, what's the consequence for you failing? And the consequence isn't I bought a course for $1,000, it didn't work out. That's not a consequence. That's a poor decision. In society, the consequence for breaking the law is going to jail. In school, the consequence for not studying and not being competent during a lecture is failing the test and being held back. What is your consequence for not doing what you need to do in life right now? What are the consequences you're giving yourself for not completing that course that you spent your hard-earned money on? What's the consequences for you not investing in yourself? Guys, there's consequences that exist. These are principles, and principles cannot be broken. The principle is if I touch flame, it is going to burn, and I'm going to move or retract my hand immediately. What is the principle if you invest in yourself and you don't show up to the coaching call? What is that consequence look like? Can I keep it real on these lives? I don't know, man. We're cracking jokes. Let me know down below in the comments. Is this too real? Is this too much value? We could dumb it down. All right, cool. I want you guys to win. Nothing less, nothing more. I want you guys to win. Everything I break down on the channel, I've done, I've learned at the expense of tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've learned through trial and error. I've made a ton of money doing so. Like I've made $1 million in a year. I've made $1 million a month. I've made $1 million in a day. I've made $1 million in a few hours. So anything that I talk about on this channel is proven. It's not theory. So because this didn't exist. There was no channel of this value where I could go speak to people and ask questions and get them answered and then not just be on here trying to sell me a course. Like I honestly, genuinely could care less if any of you buy any of my stuff. It is going to impact your lives substantially, exponentially more than it will me. Trust me. One of my suppliers told me that they can't do D.D.P because of the high shipping rates, but offered E.X.W and stated they could reflect a lower value of the shipment. Should I pull the trigger? All right, cool. So how does shipping work, right? Let's go ahead and go to the iPad really quick. I'll break this down and I'll break down what you should do and why. So first of all, like we haven't been getting big differences right now in between D.D.P and E.X.W, or I mean D.D.P and F.O.B. So I want you to understand this is, let's break this down. F.O.B. All right, so these are the three main ways that you can ship, right? These are the three main logistics types for international importing and exporting of products, which is what we're doing, right? So D.D.P is essentially the supplier is 100% responsible. The supplier is 100% responsible. So how does that work? This is how it works. D.D.P, they make your product, right? This is your product. And then they get the product to the boat or airplane Only two different ways to export or import is through boat, which is sea, or through airplane, which is air. And then they're responsible for getting it through customs and to Amazon. Okay, so they are responsible from A to Z. Now, with that being said, D.D.P does cost the most. Okay, why does it cost the most? Because the supplier has more responsibility than you, right? Number two is F.O.B. F.O.B stands for freight on board. Freight on board. Responsible for freight on board. F.O.B, freight on board. So the way F.O.B works, is this. Supplier makes the product. They get the product to the boat or airplane. This is the supplier's responsibility, this right here, okay? Now, from the boat and the airplane to customs AMZ, it is now your responsibility. It is now your responsibility, right? Hopefully this makes sense. So the supplier, when you're doing freight on board, is going to manufacture your product and get it to the boat or the plane, and then you are responsible right here for getting it to Amazon, right? Now, with that being said, F.O.B is the second most expensive. And F.O.B is a majority of the times what I do, and I'll break down what I use for what scenario lastly, right? Last but not least is E.X.W. And I'm just going to put, supplier has no responsibility. And again, guys, I can get into definitions and tell you what it says on Google and all this stuff, and you guys are going to be like, what the heck is going on? I don't understand any of this. So I'm trying to make this as simple as possible, right? Now, if we go down to E.X.W, by the way, if this is making sense, let me know down below in the comments, hey, this is fire or this sucks. Either or, I like constructive criticism. So let me know what you guys think. E.X.W. And again, by the way, if the viewer to like ratio on this video matches at the end, you guys are going to get all these notes. So all these notes that is like course quality content that I've been breaking down in this video, we're going to drop that PDF down below. You're going to be able to download it for free. So you got to like, you got to be subscribed, you got to have notification bells on. E.X.W, this is the way it works. Supplier makes the product, and that is it. That is it. They do nothing else. So getting it from the boat to the airplane and then getting it to Amazon is all your responsibility. So what should we do? Don't get intimidated. What should we do? At this point, for E.X.W, we would hire a freight forwarder. So from here to here, we would hire a freight forwarder. I don't even know how to spell forwarder. So we're just going to put four dot, right? Looking at it sideways is throwing me off. We're going to hire a freight forwarder, right? A freight forwarder is then going to pick up and intercept your product from the supplier, and they're going to get it to Amazon. All right, freight forwarder. Now, there's two different ways that you can do it. You can go direct to a freight forwarder, or you can go and hire a broker. You know what? Let me do it this way. Direct, cheaper. Broker, more expensive. Direct, less work. Or excuse me. Whoops. Direct, more work. And broker, less work. Does that make sense? Down below, say I'm getting it. So basically, if you're going to go with E.X.W, and E.X.W is scrolling up to the top, E.X.W is the cheapest. All right. So if you look at it like this, D.D.P is the most expensive. F.O.B is the second most expensive. E.X.W is the least expensive. Why? The more expensive it is, the less work, less responsibility, less liability that you have. Now, when do I use these different scenarios, right? D.D.P, good for samples. Micro launch. F.O.B, good for larger orders or reorders. E.X.W, great for full containers or large orders. I'm not going to pay the premium for D.D.P or F.O.B if I'm ordering 5,000 units and it takes up an entire container. I want to do E.X.W. E.X.W is the cheapest. F.O.B and E.X.W, these two right here, okay? These two right here need a freight forwarder or a broker. Hopefully that makes sense. These two right here need a freight forwarder or a broker. And this one right here, supplier, handles all. All right? If you guys are picking up what I'm putting down below, say I'm getting it. And if you guys are getting any value, guys, I need to see those likes go up. I need the comments to go crazy. By the way, if you're new to subscribing to the channel, let me know down below and say I just subscribed. If you've been subscribed, down below say I've been subscribed. And give us some feedback because my team is running the thing behind the scenes. They're running all of the controls. And they're here after work doing this for you guys, right? So we have a whole team, a whole production staff. I'm not just hitting the webcam and coming on here. We're in a studio, in my studio after work doing this on a Friday, right? So our number one goal is to provide more value in the Amazon education and the entrepreneur space than anyone else on YouTube. So we work really hard and we really appreciate your guys' support as well as your guys' constructive criticism. Looks like we're on the hour mark, so I'm going to blitz answer. How many more questions do we have? All right, so we're past the hour mark. We went through some really good things. Again, all of these notes, guys, all of these notes that we went through today, if the like ratio and the subscribe ratio is congruent to how many people were watching, then I'll give you all these notes for free. If not, I'll just keep them for myself. But with that being said, guys, we're on the hour mark, so I'm going to blitz through all these questions. I'm just going to fire around. Hammer them all because I don't want any questions to go unanswered. Again, if you're not subbed, please hit that red button right now. It takes a second. Click the notification bell. When these videos come out, guys, drop a like. It takes no effort to smash a like button, and you would not understand unless you were a creator how much that helps, right? So I'm not asking you guys for money. I'm just asking you guys for your support if you get value, right? That's all. So let's go ahead and fire around these questions. Can we go camera 1 too? So I can look at the questions. Sweet. Awesome. Once you launch a product and it starts to pick up some sales, what is a good strategy to boost the sales? So once you get the reviews, once you do the initial launch and you have your automatic campaign, your PPC campaign going, what you want to do is you want to rinse and repeat your PPC campaign. You want to make sure that you're using more keywords. You also want to make sure you're increasing your bids, increasing how much you're spending daily as well. Next, phase 2 is you want to start introducing exterior-based strategies to rank your products and increase the amount of traffic to your listing. Some of them, which are free and highly effective, are going to be TikTok, Reddit, different blog sites, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you tap into all of those. Hey, man. Hey, how much is the course? So I'm not going to go break down all my stuff on here because I'm really not trying to sell anything, but there's a link right now to schedule a call with my team. If you're interested in learning, again, I hate telling people like, hey, check out my course. It's $9.97 because not all of you guys are the same learning type, like creative. Some of you guys want mentorship. You guys want to talk to me like we are right now, one-on-one. Some of you guys just want a course. Some of you guys just want a $20 book. Like I hate just selling one thing to everybody. The AMZ Formula is $9.97. The AMZ Formula MAX, which is the AMZ Formula plus weekly coaching with AMZ Formula certified coaches in different areas every single week, is $4,997. And then I have mentorship, and we also offer an investment opportunity where our team will build out the entire business and help you manage it, right? So depending on which one you're interested in, the best thing to do is to schedule a call. It's free. They're not going to pressure you or hassle you. They're just going to ask you some questions and answer all of your questions about our different programs. But I hate just saying, here's a link to my $9.97 course because it may not be the best for you, right? And I don't want to sell you something that's not going to help you. I want to sell you something that's going to serve you and exponentially increase your results. Also, by the way, guys, I will mention this, like shameless plug. Like, dude, if you are new to Amazon, if you're new to the entire Amazon world, if you're new to me, if you're new to this business and you want information, like my book is $22, $27? My book is under $30. It's 200 pages of no BS, no fluff. You see the content here? The book is in like literature format. No BS, no fluff, straight to the point. I break down my background, how I got started. I break down this entire business, what you need to know. So it's a really good starting point. It's really rich in content for under 30 bucks, right? So I suggest everybody should grab a copy of that. And if you don't like it, I'll refund you and you can keep the book. Yeah, so if you want to put that link in there, let's keep Blitz running through these. You strategically use E.X.W with large container owners to get a better rate exchange. Yes. What about responsibility if the container is lost? So if the container, so you have insurance. When you go through the freight, broker or you go through the freight forwarder, you will have insurance for your shipment. You can split. So basically, like if you're doing E.X.W or F.O.B, you're going to go in a container with other people. It's called a segregated container load placement is what it's actually called. However, if you do X amount of units, you can take up the whole container. And that's when I would go E.X.W. But when you go F.O.B or D.D.P, you're in that segregated container, and whoever you're going through, whether it's DHL, FedEx, UPS, they're going to insure your load, right? So like people are like, dude, shipping is insane. Like it's probably more than your products. And it's right? It costs a lot of money. Like understand, guys, your stuff is going on a boat for 30 to 45 days. It is a voyage. It's like China is 15 hours from here. No, China's like 20 something hours from here. I flew to Hong Kong. I've been to China. Let me see. I had to go I went from Austin to Los Angeles, from Los Angeles to Australia, from Australia to Doha, Qatar. From Doha, Qatar, I went to China. It's like 5, 6. That's just traveling there like domestically. Like, guys, it's a several day trip in an airplane, several days in an airplane, and it's 30 to 45 days on a plane. So there's tons of fees that go into it, and you just got to factor it into your pricing. Like that 30% profit margin is after shipping. It's after your cost of goods. It's after you factor in some additional things. Like a rule of thumb in real estate is like I factor attrition or vacancy rate at 10%. I do not care. Like I'm looking at buying 300 to 500 units right now. I do not care. I do not care if they say that, well, you know, it's 97% occupancy. No, dude, I am factoring my offer based off of 10% vacancies because that's a historical that I can go off of. And it's better to under promise, over deliver type scenario. On top of that, like the expense ratio, if you're bringing in X amount cash flow and it's at 20%, I am factoring my numbers when I underwrite deals at 50% of cash flow to be safe. So when you're factoring your numbers for that 30%, add an extra 3%, an extra 5%. Make sure there's enough skin in the game. That way, if the cost goes up a little bit or there's something going on economically or politically that's going to affect your shipping, you're good. And if so, it takes 8 seconds to go increase your price on Amazon. If you're priced aggressively, if you're adding value, if your product is good, it can sustain a price increase. Cool. We'll bang it out. Hey, so I launched a product without enough knowledge about the business, and now I have inventory just sitting in the Amazon warehouse that I need to get rid of, and I don't know how to do so. So, Chico, what you're going to do, brother, is first and foremost, let's see. Man, I get this every single day. This makes my heart sad. Because so many times, like, it's hard. Like, we don't know if the product is good. Like, lack of competency, lack of education, lack of help from an expert, and a product that sucks are like night and day. Sometimes you could like literally found a good product because there's tons of product research stuff out there, but just not knowing how to rank it, how to structure and optimize your listing. So first and foremost, before you remove it, check around on the channel or check around on one of my programs or do some due diligence. Try to figure out if the product is good. If you think the product sucks, there's a few things that you can do. Number one, destroy it, and Amazon will do it for free, basically, which you don't want to destroy it. You're going to lose the product. Number two is you can create a removal order. You're going to go into Amazon Seller Central. You're going to go into inventory. Under inventory, you're going to click on the button that says create inventory removal ticket or create or remove inventory, something along those lines. You'll see something very close to that. You're going to click on that, and it's going to allow you to click how many units, where you want to ship it, and then they're actually going to give you their discounted rate. So they have the biggest contract. Amazon has the biggest contract with UPS, so you're going to save money. Now, also, look at what you're paying in fees. If that removal order is significantly less than what you're paying in fees or vice versa, make a move off of that. Just understand, if you're serious about this game, you want to get in this game, if you want to figure out something fast, am I going to get the education? Am I going to get the consultation? Am I going to try to move this product? If not, you need to remove this product, because Amazon, since COVID, has become very strict with the account health and inventory management. You've probably read on forums or heard across the internet them talking about reducing inventory limits and so on and so forth. The reason why they're doing that is because they don't want to hinder companies that are growing and large companies that need a ton of space with companies that are coming in here and they're trying to figure it out, or they're trying to launch products and they're ordering too much inventory. Amazon really doesn't want people trying to figure it out. They want people that are working with experts or who are experts on their platform. Take it how you want it. That's just the truth. They don't want you to come on there and try to figure it out. You're going to lose your privileges. They're going to kick you off, just like Facebook. Facebook does not want you trying to figure out how to run media. If you guys know about running media on Facebook, I've lost 18 accounts in 2021. 18 accounts. I've paid Mark Zuckerberg millions of dollars. I'm talking about over $3 million last year, and they just shut my business down. Like, oh, you violated below. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. Mark heard me talking about him. Mark, how many lawsuits you had about listening to people when they don't want you listening to them, man? He heard me. He was like, "Oh, you talking about me now, huh? We finna shut you down." I know them people at Google real good.
You got a few more questions while we were down.
Can you guys hear me down below? If you can hear me, say yes. If you can hear me down below, say yes. If you can see me waving my hand, say yes. Was that Facebook? Yeah, Facebook shut us down, bro. Let me chill out before I lose my account. You've mentioned Mark Zuckerberg, therefore we're gonna have to remove your channel. All right, cool. What was the last questions? We'll bang these last ones out. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. Does your team assist with the launch of the products, meaning the photos, bullet points? Yes, our team helps. Depending on what platform you're, or depending on what's going on here with this shirt, depending on what program you're on, there's different level of resources and stuff, but our team is highly active in helping you get to the next level. So depending if it's resources we refer, resources we give you, or we do for you, depending on what tier or what package you're in, we help you crush it. I paid some company recently $15,000 to get started in Amazon dropshipping, and they didn't got back to me. I haven't made my return on investment yet. Any advice? First and foremost, that sucks. I don't know much about Amazon dropshipping. I can tell you this, and you probably don't want to hear it, but Amazon does not really want people drop shipping. They do not want you drop shipping. Like if you've looked into Amazon drop shipping, you've probably heard things about like accounts being suspended and what we do or how we offer account suspension or all of that jazz, like how we help sellers with account suspension or how we have a low suspension rate. I can tell you this, we have thousands of clients. I've had 0 accounts suspended because Amazon wants 2 types of clients, right? They want brands using their infrastructure, which is private labeling, what I do, what I teach here on the channel. And they want distributors of large established brands, which is wholesale. You guys have probably heard about that strategy, right? Those are the 2 like legit strategies that Amazon genuinely wants. Can they stop arbitrage? Not really. Can they stop drop shipping? Not 100%. Do they find out? Yeah. I mean, can you lose your account? Yeah. Is it sustainable? Not really. I would try to get your money back, or I would try to see like what's going on or where they are, so on and so forth, and try to work with them, man. Anything that I can do, like there's tons of free information here. Like it sounds like you're serious and not curious, because even after losing, like first and foremost, I want to commend you. And I'll give you a little lesson. One of the best things that my mom ever taught me is to learn how to find a positive from a negative. And Drake has this line, which is one of my favorite lines. He said, working with the negatives make a better picture. So you lost some money. That absolutely sucks, like tremendously. I've lost money before. I've had money stolen from me. That feeling sucks. Like right here, you feel it right here. I know that feeling. However, you're still here learning. You're still motivated. So you have what it takes, right? You have the patience. You have the persistence. You have the resilience. So if you're serious about it, just do not give up, man, because things like that are thrown at us to test us, to see if we have what it takes, right? Guys, my first 3 products failed. When I tell you, dude, I didn't have a good job. My family didn't have money. I didn't have money to gamble to see if this thing works. Dude, I spent money we didn't have, and I didn't have food. I spent money we didn't have, and I couldn't pay for our rent. I invested money I didn't have because I had to work or it had to work. So, like, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be fully transparent. Like, this is a real business. You can lose money. You will lose money. There are bad people out there, bad businesses out there. There are liars out there. You can launch a product and cross your T's and dot your I's and it not be the product and have to liquidate it. You may lose money. PPC may be negative, right? You may want it to take 3 months and it takes a year. It does not matter. All that matters are you willing to sustain and go all the way in and not give up until you're successful and be relentless? Or are you going to complain and just make it an excuse and give up, right? So learn a lesson from that. And maybe all of you guys can get some value from that. Like, work with the negatives in your life. I remember what I used to do when bad things in my life happened is I would blame others. And I would even ask God, like, why is this happening to me? Blah, blah, blah. And here's the revelation that I had. when you point your finger, and you guys can do this exercise, when you point your finger at anybody, anything, or anyone, any reason, any problem, like any of those things, when you're pointing your finger at any of those, there's not one, there's two, there's three that are pointing directly back at yourself. See, the enemy is in the inner me, and if it's meant to be that thing called success, then it's up to me. It means no one's coming to save you. Your family's not going to help you. Your friends aren't going to help you. And sometimes you may work with companies that suck, or companies can't help you, or there's bad business, blah, blah, blah. The only thing that matters is, are you going to give up, or are you going to not give up? Because there's only two ways that you can fail. Number one, not starting, and number two, giving up. You guys have started. You guys have started to educate yourself. You guys started to show up to these streams. You guys have started by investing in programs and coaching and books and whatever you're doing to invest in yourself and your personal development. Now, when things get difficult, when you're lost, when you're struggling, when that first product doesn't hit, when you're losing money in PPC, when your friends and your family and your colleagues are telling you that you're an idiot and that this is a scam and this thing doesn't work, what decisions are you going to make then? That is going to determine will you be successful or not, right? So I'm sorry, that sucks. Anyway, our team can help you, dude. We're here to help you. Hopefully the channel helps you get back on your track, or maybe we work together one day and we can help you. However, just keep your head up, man. And I commend you for showing up even after that. Cool, man. Any questions? Yeah, Facebook's tripping, bro. Facebook is trying to take me out. Mark was like, I heard, you hear this guy? He's talking wreck. Have you guys seen the social distancing? If you go to Netflix, there's this thing called social distance. What is this social distance? Social dilemma. It's called The Social Dilemma. Go watch that show on Netflix, and it talks about them. And it's just crazy. Like when they're talking about Facebook and all the stuff they do that they're not supposed to do, and like how they get the data. It's like they show like these scientists behind like this office, and there's like all these TVs everywhere, and they're like just watching people scroll on their thing, and they're like, all right, he's been on here 8 minutes. He's looked at these pictures. Send another one to keep him on here. Oh, they talked about Facebook. Ban his account. Like, it's so funny, but it's so true, right? So, Eggsnay on the Facebook, eh? Some company, do you have a name so I don't go for them? Is it One Street Dime? I'm not sure. I mean, hopefully if you guys are here, you like what you guys see here, like just think about it like this. Like when you're looking at a company to invest with, when you're looking at a company to work with, like just ask yourself, like, what content do they put out there? How invested are they in the success of their community? How much are they investing into their brand? Like, are they transparent? Are they knowledgeable? Have they done this themselves? Like, what is your vibe about them? Like, are they just trying to pump courses, or are they just trying to sell courses? Like, are all their content clickbait and not full of like any value and just fluff trying to sell you software and programs? Or like, are they actually giving you value? Like, ask yourself those questions. Like I've been doing private label since 2015. Before that, I was in wholesale, started in wholesale, went into private label, made my first million in this business, my first million on paper, a millionaire through this business. And have been doing this business ever since, right? So almost 2/3 of a decade. 10,000 plus people went through the AMZ Formula on stages, virtually and non-virtual. Like I've taught hundreds of thousands of people. I did a webinar every single Sunday live for 2 years straight. So I've been teaching nonstop live, giving value out for free for years. Cool. This is regarding your program. So what is the best way to get started for us and nobodies? How much should we expect to invest starting out? And what do you think you see returns? So the best thing, dude, those are a ton of questions that I really don't want to get into because it can be seen like as a sales pitch. So the best thing, brother, is just schedule a call. The link's on the team right now, www.oneproductawaycall.com. So just go there. It takes you 5 seconds. Like just go to that website, click a time that works for you. Just be like, yo, I was on Josh's live stream. I want to work with Josh and his team. Like, what packages do you offer? How much is it? How much can I expect to make? Like, how long can it take? Ask all those questions. They'll answer all those questions. And if you feel this is something you can commit to, something that you're serious about, and you want to take this step with us, then our team can assist you further, right? We have payment plans. We can help you get funding. Like, guys, if you lack resources, our team can help you become resourceful. All right, cool. Last one, and we're going to bang it out. Also, what books do you recommend that I just help us out on a personal business level for us who are looking to get started or serious about getting started? So again, like shameless plug, my book, the One Product Away, for introduction to Amazon and like my whole strategy, the AMZ formula, and what it is that I do in this business model. I think that it's a must-have for all beginners or people who are interested in the business or want to learn about the business. Um, Let me see. The One Thing by Gary Keller is huge. The Richest Man in Babylon is another book that I love. Um, Think and Grow Rich. Just some of those traditional old school books are really, really good for fundamentals and frameworks of becoming a business owner and what to look like, so on and so forth. All right, cool, guys. So we're like almost at an hour and 30 minutes. It's supposed to be 30 minutes with a millionaire, and today it was an hour and 20 minutes with a millionaire. So hopefully you guys got some value. Guys, if you got any value at all, please like that button, smash that like button. It helps us out tremendously. If you're not subscribed, please click that red subscribe button right now. If you know somebody, a family, a friend, a colleague, someone you work with, someone you're hanging out with, like, guys, let's grow the community together. I do this for you guys. I really don't care about monetizing this. Like, I'm not doing this for YouTube revenue. I'm not doing this to sell courses. Like, I'm doing this to help you guys, right? So I want to grow this channel. I'm very passionate about what I do, if you can't tell. So if you know somebody, refer the channel, share the channel, post it on your social media, show up. Like, when we post these videos, guys, a like and a comment means the world to us, right? So our goal is to get the channel to 100K in 2022. And it would be much more possible with all of your guys' support. So I appreciate you guys. I wish you guys the best of luck. God bless all of you guys. Again, if you have any questions about anything that we offer at AMZ Formula or AMZ Together, schedule a call with our team at oneproductawaycall.com, the number one. And you can grab your book of your copy of the One Product Away book at the number one productawaybook.com. I'll see you guys next week. New videos coming Monday and Wednesday. Make sure you have the notification bells on. And most importantly, remember, you're only one product away. See you guys. Have a great weekend.